Welcome to the London Part 1 discussion video. And
we like London.
We like London a lot. I don't know how much that comes off because it was just the first couple days that we were there. But by the time we left London, we were there for 2 weeks total, right?
Yeah.
We were just like, this place is amazing. And it's not at all what I had expected going in. So like London is like, I never would think, I mean, I know a lot of people travel there, but I never was like, that's a major tourist destination for us. So
yeah,
I'm a little surprised.
Never thought that.
I'm a little surprised how much we really, really like the city in general.
There was a lot to do, and I really felt that there was an easy way to find out things to do from the standpoint of just doing some research online.
Getting around turned out to be really easy and everything. Like Google has got the maps for the buses built in and everything, which is not everywhere in the world. Isle of Man. But yeah, I mean, it makes it really easy to get around, and it's a clean, wonderful city. But specifically in this episode, the things that will really stand out to me was the very first thing we went and did was the God's Own Junkyard thing with all the neon signs and everything.
And I sat there, I was like planning that out, and I was just thinking to myself, we're gonna travel for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's a bit in the boonies. Like you got to go a long way out.
A big bust, and this is the first thing that we're going to go do. So, and I immediately, like my immediate thoughts of London were, well, I'm putting this to chance, and I felt kind of uneasy, but once we got there and we got inside to see what they were showing off, I thought that it was it wasn't cool in an experience that is hands-on. It's more like you saw something pretty. And I think maybe we said it was like a cathedral to like lost.
Yeah, and I mean, we made parallels about how it was like, it felt like being in Hong Kong and stuff. You said something along the lines of like waking up hungover in Hong Kong. That's what it would feel like being inside there. Yeah, but I mean, I think part of the reason that I liked it so much is because it's out of the way and down this little alleyway. And
we went early in the morning and we were kind of alone.
Yeah, there was like us and a couple of other people wandering around, some people drinking coffee. Like we got there before they opened, actually.
And the guy told us, you gotta come back in 15 minutes. So we had to walk around and found a dog. And then came back.
The dog? I just remember
there was a really, really big dog in the parking lot. And big dogs are weird to us. He was black, and he was hanging out in the parking lot. He had an owner.
I remember. Oh, okay. That's maybe why.
It wasn't just random.
It wasn't just like some random street dog like tearing people up.
We saw a street dog the other day.
Did we?
We don't need to get off on that. But anywho.
Oh yeah, we did. He was just peddling for wares, man.
And he looked great.
It was really funny.
Like, wow, you're a good looking dog, but you have no peoples. Anywho, so yeah, we had to wait to get in there, but once we got in there, it was quite interesting.
It's pretty big too. It's not just like a little corner. It's like a whole warehouse kind of that they've like turned into this thing with like, and the way that it's built, there's lots of little paths and stuff to walk around inside of. Yeah, I don't know. Little
like nooks and crannies, and you can look at all the different signs and kind of see not how they were made, because I really don't know. Yeah, the wiener dog.
But you made the call that imagine if there was a place where you could go and you could learn how to make fluorescent lighting like that.
I was just gonna go off on another aside about this. Like, I think that there should be some sort of tourism app that is more about experience than it is about come and look at this. Like, okay, so you got TripAdvisor, and TripAdvisor is good for people letting you know how they feel about stuff. I want people who want to do experiences that are more than just like, I know that you can research a pub crawl or come and taste all these different things about this place, but no, I want to go somewhere and be able to make something and leave with it.
Kind of like the sausage thing that you did in Japan.
Kind of like the sausage thing I did in Japan, or I also did that painting workshop. It's not a painting workshop.
With Makiko.
With Makiko, we were in Washington, D.C., and we went to like a paint shop where you can drink alcohol and paint.
They give you some instruction, right?
Yeah, there's an instructor there, and they already have like what you're going to paint out, so you just kind of mimic what's on the wall already. So 15 people are leaving this thing with the exact same painting in their own ways, obviously.
It's really cool.
It was incredible, and in all honesty, I hope that I have that painting for the rest of my life, because that was incredible to do with my friend in this place that we'd never been. And I find it very hard to find those activities. Like, I was even thinking about doing horseback riding here with you.
Yeah.
But that's just, I don't necessarily need to leave with something, but I would like to be able to say, I understood this better. And I guess I'd understand riding a horse better, but
I think it depends on what the horseback riding costs. I might hang out with some ponies.
Well, I found that on Groupon. Groupon is actually something that I feel gives you more of those experience things. So I've started looking at that since the UK is more open to that. But yeah, I wish that there was some sort of app or some sort of website that gave you more.
What really needs to happen is TripAdvisor just needs to have a category. Like, it's not, I don't think you need a whole other app. You just need somebody who's already in that marketplace that can add this functionality.
Airbnb has an experience area, but to me what I saw was more, and I haven't jumped into this very far, so if I'm completely wrong about it, that's totally fine. It has more like come and eat these things or come and cook these things, and I got a more food vibe about this, or
which is cool, but yeah, you're right.
I want something hands-on. I want something tactile. I want something.
They don't know about what about the driving thing that we did in Yorkshire.
Oh, and that was...
You guys will see that at some point. It's really cool.
And I found that out of the blue. So I really do feel like these experiences are hard to find. And or they just come randomly.
You have to know to look them up, kind of.
Yeah,
and that's hard. Like, you don't know if this area has got this type of thing that they're doing.
Well, I didn't know to look it up. You just have to dig and dig. And there's got to be some way that somebody could present these things a little more like, here, come and do this, because they'd be making more money and I'd be having more fun. It's a win-win.
So from those first couple of days in London, does anything else stand out to you? Like, we went to all the tourist stuff. We just were like, let's get the tourist stuff done, and we walked along the how do you say the river name? So we just said
Thames.
Thames. We said Thames or something the whole time. It's not spelled. And I swear I've heard somebody say it like that, but I'm probably mistaken.
Yeah, we had heard somebody say it like that after we'd made video after video after video.
Yeah.
So that's kind of embarrassing, but...
What are you going to do?
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of videos out there with people
I get caught up on river names a lot, though. I've noticed that in the past when we were in Asia and stuff. I'll see river names. I'm like, for some reason, I'm always like, like the river.
Let's not talk about the river.
The river in India. The really famous one that Varanasi is on.
Oh, God. Oh, it starts with a G.
Ganges is how it looks,
Ganges.
But I don't think we're saying it right. I think we're saying it wrong.
Oh,
but
I'm sure
it's excusable because we shouldn't know. But with the river in London, we probably should have known. But
yeah.
But it just wasn't said. I didn't hear it, and I looked at it. I was like,
Nobody's out there just saying the river name. Nobody's talking about the river. If
and then
you
sometimes
live there, you don't
here in the UK, something we've really learned, and I mean, I knew this before, but I've really had this drilled in, is how incredibly different accents are regionally. So even if I heard somebody say it, I might just be like, oh, maybe they're from some small little area that says it in this way, and that's not the standard way. It's hard to figure out the standard pronunciation for words here because nobody really speaks standard like British English.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I know it's like the Queen's English or whatever, but it's like you never hear it anywhere. Like, we're not talking to the Queen is really the thing. But yeah, we did a bunch of the tourist stuff, and a lot of it wasn't functioning. I remember the London Eye was closed and stuff, and I don't know why. Maybe they were working on it or something, but it wasn't moving at all when we went by. I hadn't planned to go up in it anyways.
I'd already been up in it.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, I think that I'm probably done with large carousels like that.
Until they start doing something really insane.
And nothing is going to be to beat that experience in... I knew you were going to propose to me.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I knew that you were going to propose to me, and I was riding the one in Singapore. Gosh, I was going to say Hong Kong because we were talking about Hong Kong.
Yeah.
I was riding it knowing that was going to happen, and nothing will be better than that. No, like big ride like that is going to be better than that. So I think I'm done with them.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So that was closed down, and Big Ben was closed, or not closed,
Big Ben,
but
under renovation.
You couldn't see it, so that's kind of a bummer for you.
This gives me an excuse to come back.
Did we go to the Tower of London in this, or is that a later day?
On this video, yeah, we no. I'm sorry. Tower of London is the video I'm editing right now. I'm really confused.
Look forward to that.
It was really cool.
Would you go back?
To the
Yeah, I'd go back with maybe more time, and we
still spent like quite a while there. We were there for more than half a day. It was getting dark when we left.
I guess at this point might be getting to the point that I've seen enough of it. I don't know.
The tour. Yeah. Don't get into Tower of London. That's the next one. We went across Tower Bridge though.
Yes.
And I got those peanuts with I think it had almonds and stuff in it.
And I got to jump on the bridge. That was good.
Yeah.
That Tower Bridge is
super iconic. And before we went, I thought that was London Bridge.
Yeah,
like the imagery,
and I think that's a common
like when people say
everyone.
London Bridge, I'm like, boop, okay, and you see that thing with the big like things, and you just assume, but
and then London Bridge is just Watergate on water.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Right?
I don't know why. That is probably my favorite landmark is the Tower Bridge, and it feels kind of like that shouldn't be your favorite landmark.
It's awesome.
I don't know why.
No, it's awesome. Walking across it is amazing.
Yeah, and in my head right now, I'm seeing it in Lego format. I don't really know why,
because we saw the Lego store, I think.
Yeah.
The Lego store, by the way, that's like near Piccadilly Circus, kind of, is really, really good. It's the best Lego store I've ever been in. They've got a lot of like stuff from the city that they built in these huge Legos and stuff. And in this video, you would have seen the Big Ben that they had built. It was really big, but inside there was a whole bunch of other stuff. And I was gonna go in there and make a video about it, but when I went in there, I went in there like one of the last days we were there. It was like a Saturday or Sunday, and it was just like wall to wall people, and it just didn't want to like start like making video with all these people and their kids and all that. It's kind of strange. But yeah, it's a really good store. I noticed in this episode though that we didn't eat anything that's traditionally English. We had Indian food, and we had Chinese food in the video. And
where did we have Chinese food?
We went to China, that really crappy Chinese restaurant in Chinatown.
Oh! I was thinking about that Ned's Noodles.
No,
we had that. We didn't even make a video of that. Yeah. It was fucking terrible.
But yeah, people are probably gonna be like, well, why? Like, if you're from London, you know why we didn't make videos about English food, because there's not very much of it, to be real. Like, there's pub food and stuff, and we do explore that in later videos.
Well, there's one meal that we had that has no video, and it was...
What was that?
British food, and it was spectacular.
We had what?
We went to the Jugged Hare with my friend Chris.
Oh yeah, we did.
And that was just like it was a dinner with friends. It's not a but that was one of the best meals there.
They said there might be shot in your food.
Yeah, so that's
bullets,
not the only...
Bullets in her bunnies.
Yeah, so I actually ate a rabbit. So the Jugged Hare is a very... I imagine that it is an old restaurant, and it has like a bar, and it also has a very kind of traditional... not posh. So there's like a scale of like posh and casual. And this is somewhere in the middle of like older men would go. It has kind of a cigar room vibe to it.
Okay.
A cigar room vibe.
Yeah.
And like the waiters are all dressed up very nice. It feels very professional. It's kind of dark, but it has a butchery there where they're cutting up all the meat that
there's like animals on the walls everywhere and stuff too.
And there's a lot of taxidermy on the walls. Yeah. And so the feeling of this restaurant is, whoa. I knew that we would be possibly going there and I might be eating a rabbit. Like, I knew that was the possibility of what was going to happen. Yeah. But I didn't realize we're going to be surrounded by a bunch of dead animals in this cigar room vibe with this, like, wait staff that's very professional. And then there was going to be, like, a heating lamp next to me that was, like, heating up a dead boar that people were eating. This was the feeling of the room. I think I've kind of described it quite well. So my friend Chris was like, yeah, we got to go to this place. And we went, and the Jugged Hare that I ended up getting was like in a pitcher that had been heated, and it was like a stew of like rabbit stew.
Yeah, that's right.
Fantastic. I would go back to that. Was it expensive?
I think it was a bit expensive, but it probably would be if you enjoyed it that much, if you're talking this highly of it.
Yeah, I would definitely say to people you should go there. So that's one of those situations where that would have been incredible to share with everyone, but it would have been very awkward to tell my friend, hey.
Honestly, it would have been hard to film in there. It was dark.
It was really dark. So sometimes you run that line of like, do we push our friend into this weird, because like this is a guy that I've only hung out with.
I mean, you know him, but not super well.
I know him from Japan, and he's living here now, so we haven't seen each other in a really long time. So the last thing I want to do is like shove a video camera in his face and be like, hey.
Yeah, it's one of those times.
So, yeah, sorry you guys didn't get to enjoy that with us, but at the same time, I like Chris.
Trying to think if there's anything else that was like really like stand out, something that had like a backstory or commentary that I wanted to discuss about that video. I don't really think so. I mean, we just went for that walk and we had the bubbles, the guy with the big bubbles and stuff.
Oh yeah, those bubbles were incredible.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I gave that guy money.
But there's gonna be some more London videos coming. I'm actually working on one. I think it'll be the next video I put up actually.
I think one of the things that I might regret about London is not having taken anything on the waterways.
Yeah, we never took a boat.
Yeah, we never took a boat.
You're right.
I just realized I love boats.
Yeah.
Never took a boat.
What did they call it? There's like the underground, and then there's like they had a special sign for it. It was really funny.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I've got some questions I've got a bunch of questions from Tammy.
Hey, Tammy.
Tammy's left us a bunch of questions.
I saw you as a young girl.
Oh yeah, on Instagram. Yeah, she put a picture of herself as a little girl. It was funny. Tammy says, is it easier to enjoy your trip when there is more English spoken, or does it become less exotic and mysterious?
Both.
Agreed. It's super easy, and you can have instantaneous, deeper connections with people that you can't have if they're around people that don't speak English. Like you can't speak to them, of course. Like if you're in, I don't know, Vietnam or something. Like we had moments with people that were amazing in Vietnam, but it was not as instantaneously deep as you can have with somebody when you can speak the same language. Like there is a lot to be said for both sides of that coin, because I think when you strip away language, remember when we were in, I'm just thinking of Vietnam because remember when we were in rural Vietnam, we were eating some noodles or something in this little shop, and this girl came in and she saw how tall I was and she wanted a picture of us. And you had made friends with the guy that worked there.
And we were passing the book back and forth. And you were passing the
book back and forth to ask how old you were and things like that. And like they were all so warm and kind. That has incredible value, to be able to communicate with people from a completely different culture that have no linguistical, like we don't have a way to communicate like verbally. However, there's also something to be said to be able to just walk into a shop and just talk to somebody here. Like the lady that a couple nights ago when we went to the grocery store.
I went outside. I went to 3 supermarkets or 3 mini marts last night in my pajamas, asking if they sell cinnamon.
Did anybody call you out on it?
No. And I came home with a bottle of wine.
Is that where the wine came from?
Yeah, so that's what ends up happening in English-speaking situations.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like you can have like casual BS with people, and like we're up in Scotland right now, and just hearing people's accents is a treat.
Yeah.
Just hearing, and sometimes I'm talking to somebody and I'm asking them more questions, not because I really want the information, I just want to hear them keep talking because it's like fantastic.
Or I didn't understand what you said in the first place. So
yeah.
Follow-up
There's
questions.
A whole lot of, excuse me? What was that? We went on a tour yesterday, and I realized halfway through the tour, if he was speaking Japanese, I'd understand more. It was brutal, but it was really like fascinating at the same time.
Accents can certainly still make you feel like you're in a place that you don't understand.
But we get the same thing every time you walk up to a register or whatever, and they'll ask you a question about like how you want to pay or do you want a bag or something. And if I reply 9 times out of 10, they're like, huh? Because they just aren't expecting what comes out of my face to come out of my face.
Yeah, and
so
maybe we answer in a different way.
Yeah, we don't answer.
We don't know what
the
standard answer is.
Yeah, but they're always like, what was that? There's always this little handshake. It's kind of fun. It's fun to be able to just look at a menu and read a menu, but it's also fun that there's so much on a menu that we just don't know what it is.
Still here, is what you're saying?
Yeah, like remember when we went to this Scottish restaurant a couple nights ago and I asked the girl to translate the menu? I was like, we're Americans. Can you I literally was like, can you translate the menu? And she's like, okay, yeah, this is this, and this is scallions, and this is this, and this is this. And she's like, what else on there would you not know? And it's just like, So we are in an English speaking place, but there's still adventure to be had because you're outside of where you've ever been. So there's going to be things that are going to be different. And I think if you were from the UK and you went to America, of course you'd be able to understand everybody and most people, and you'd be able to figure out what's going on. But people would still put menus down, and you'd still be like, what the hell is on this menu? Like regionally based on where you were and stuff. Yeah. So I think it goes both ways. Tammy's next question. We're going to do a rapid fire Tammy round, basically. Rapid Tammy. Tammy says, is it ever so cold that your equipment stops working?
My phone shut off twice the other day.
Yeah, I don't know if that's from the cold, though. Your phone might just be having a problem.
But that's what we were like, oh, maybe it's cold, but...
I've noticed that battery life on the camera and on the phones has gone down as it's been colder outside. But nothing has been like critical or anything. We haven't had any huge problems, and it hasn't been super, super, super cold. Like, if you're from Florida, it's cold. But if you are from a lot of people are like, well, you guys are complaining about the cold a lot because they're from the Wisconsin or something, or.
Yeah, well, another thing that
it's all relative.
It's not relative in this instance. We're spending a lot more time outside in the cold than we normally would. So most people in your daily life, you're going to go and you'll probably be outside to go from point A to point B. And that'll be like your commute, or maybe you're going to do something with friends, but you're only going to spend so much time outside in the cold. But when you want to see the things outside, and you want to be in an area, you have to be outside. Yeah. So we would normally spend an hour outside getting from point A to point B, but instead we're spending 3 to 4 hours outside exploring in the cold. And it takes a toll.
It does. Really, it makes you tired.
Yeah, so the Katie bot and the Eric bot are that battery.
Our battery is going slower as well.
I mean, we're still pushing it and everything, but at the same time, you come home and you feel so much more exhausted than you would have expected.
But just to give context, even when we were in Sweden, it was never more than 5 below zero. Celsius, the freezing level, basically. We're talking freezing level. It's around just below freezing level, and today it's 5 or 6 degrees Celsius above. So today it's not that bad, but I found that the cold isn't nearly as bad as cities and stuff that get windy. The wind is the bad part. Just cuts through you. But yeah, equipment problems, we haven't had anything regarding that. How do European convenience stores compare with Japan's?
They don't have cinnamon.
Yeah, they don't have cinnamon, but they have wine.
I don't know if Japanese ones have cinnamon either, but I would say they are...
It's not even on the same
We don't even go.
Yeah, we don't go in them. However...
Yeah, we don't go in them.
I have noticed that when we do go in them, the people that work there tend to be really friendly.
Yeah. So I went down to the mini mart over here, and I asked the guy if he had any cinnamon. He was like, I don't know. So we both going over to the aisle. I've got my pajamas on. He's come out and realized I'm wearing my pajamas.
Do you have the bottle of wine in your hand at this point?
No, that was at stop number 3. So yeah, he comes over and he's like, well, we've got this ginger. And I was like, what are people putting ginger on? Why is this being sold at the store? It's
have they restocked from the snowstorm, or is it so?
That place a little bit, but they don't seem to have any baked goods. Yeah.
So you went out for cinnamon and said, screw it, I'm going home with wine?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yep, that worked out.
But yeah, the convenience stores here are compared to Japan.
Oh, and I was just going to say, he was really smiley and nice and fun and laughed. And
the goods are horrible, but the service is more fun.
The goods aren't horrible.
Well, they're just comparatively.
You're not getting as much immediate food, obviously, like bentos and things like that.
And the quality of the sandwiches and stuff is okay, but it's not like...
I think the drink options are more varied in what I guess I would be interested in.
The tea rack isn't nearly as exciting for me.
Yeah, maybe. Well, true. Yeah, so...
And Tammy's last question is, would you hitchhike in these European countries, or all the people or traffic not acceptable to that type of idea?
So where we've been, England, I'm not hitchhiking.
You hitchhiked? You just
Scotland,
hitchhiked?
England, let me finish. England, I would not hitchhike, and Scotland, I would not hitchhike. But Isle of Man, where I did hitchhike, I felt very comfortable there, and I went and I hitchhiked by myself.
It's exceptionally safe there.
Yeah, so I didn't feel scared or anything like that. But England, I don't necessarily know if I'd feel scared.
I feel less scared here than I would in America, but I still don't think that I would be super comfortable with it.
You talking about Scotland? Or UK?
UK, basically. Okay. Like, yeah.
And I take Isle of Man out of that because it really does seem kind of its own thing.
The fact that it's a little island makes it this weird little, like, pocket of safety.
Sweden?
I didn't get a good enough vibe to answer that question.
I think I would, but I need to get a further vibe. I think I've been too distanced from it that I'm just like, yeah, it's fine.
We're exceptionally cautious as well. Like, there's people that hitchhike everywhere and never really have problems.
Yeah.
So I think the world is generally less dangerous than what everybody always assumes.
Or they have problems and they just roll real well with them.
Yeah. Maybe.
Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I wouldn't be really. I'm comfortable with it in Eastern Asia, especially in Japan and stuff. But I don't know, man. Other places, I'm just sketched out. Maybe I'm just a wuss.
Well, I don't think you are. I think it's better to be safe than have a bad story that you may not be able to tell because you're dead.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Happy thoughts.
Yeah. Upcoming videos, we're gonna have the London videos, and then we got some stuff that we saw when we were in Yorkshire, and then we've got the Isle of Man videos, and then we're gonna be in Scotland where we are now.
And any Japan videos in there?
Yeah, the Tochigi series still got another video or two that I'll put up. So that kind of stuff is on the way. So I hope everybody's looking forward to that. And like, load us up with more questions, guys. Tammy, you got to fill us back up too. I'm out of Tammy questions now. That was all of them.
Got chores.